what is going on? It is 12 noon on Wednesday, which means it's time for this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Christmas. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern time. If you're not yet subscribed, hit that bell icon so you get notifications whenever it is that we go live. But what we're talking about today is passing your real estate exam on the first try. We got a whole website dedicated to that called passfirsttry.com. But what we're really going to be breaking down today is not necessarily the study tools that we have that fit our pass first try strategy, but really what this pass first try strategy is and how you want to approach this course material. Whether you're taking the course with us or any other school, we have found this to be the easiest approach to retain this information to be able to pass your real estate exam. And not just for our own students, but other students from other schools that have came in and taken our study tools and are used our pass first try strategy to prepare them for the exam. So that's what we're talking about today, how to pass your real estate exams on the first try. That's the goal, right? Nobody wants to take it a second, third, fourth, fifth time. Yeah, if that happens, it happens, but let's try to make it not happen. Let's just try to get this knocked out in one shot. It's going to cost you less money, less time, and it just feels a lot better when you're able to pass this and just move on with starting your real estate business. Preview for Friday, we're going to be talking about launching your real estate career, so make sure you tune in on Friday for State of Real Estate, but today we're talking about passing your real estate exam. I'm John Christmas. You're watching Ask the Instructor.
You are watching Ask the Instructor. Absorb the knowledge. Become the expert.
Alrighty, welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor. My name is John Christmas. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern time, helping you understand the technical side of the real estate industry. And what we're talking about today is really putting all these technicalities together in one 3-hour event that is your exam, or 3.5 hours for your state exam that you'll have. So what we're talking about today is how to pass that exam on your first try. Like I said, the main focus today is going to be on the process of the pass first try strategy and how to walk through this. And what the methodology is to really even use the material that you already have in your course to mirror this pass first try strategy. But we do have all the study tools I'll be referencing as well available at passfirsttry.com. And whether you are a previous student of Tampa School of Real Estate or not, you could have taken your pre-licensing course with another school and still use our study materials. So that's available for anyone and everyone. Even if you don't need to get a real estate license and you just want to study for this exam for some reason, we're not going to stop you. So let's talk about this pass first try strategy, and let's break it down first into the 4 simple steps. And you're like, yeah, John, wow, it's only 4 steps to pass your exam. Yeah, it is only 4 steps to pass your exam. But this is really just 4 stages. Think of these as 4 stages. And you're going to progress through these stages. And now once you progress through all 4 stages, you're going to be in really good shape to pass your exam. And this is where we want to get you to. And that's this last step, to be confident and prepared. Now, what does it mean to be confident and prepared? That not only do you know the information that you need to know, but you know that you know. Look, I know that's something that everyone struggles with. Not even just some people, but everybody. There's always that lingering doubt, and it's just sometimes more so than others. But there's always that lingering doubt of, is this really correct? Is this really right? And the exam makes it a little bit more difficult because the exam, and look, here's a real easy tip. And for the tips, we've also got a course called Secrets of the Exam that groups together all the tips we have, but here's one of them that we talk about in there. So if your exam question sounds like it's trying to convince you of something, it's probably not trying to help you get the right answer. If you just simply read the question and it convinces you and it sounds like this is the right answer and you pick that one, you're probably picking the wrong answer, because those are the booby traps, essentially, that the Florida Real Estate Commission and the Bureau of Education and Testing have within this exam. they set it up where a lot of times the common sense answer might sound more correct than the actual answer. So in order to get yourself to this confident and prepared, we're going to get back to that because that is stage 4. We're not ready for that yet. First, you've got to learn the information. You've got to learn the information. Now, how do I know you've got to learn this information? Well, if you haven't learned it already, you've got to learn this information. And in very rare circumstances, will you have learned any of this information that you learned in your pre-licensing course to get your real estate license? I mean, even in instances, so if you're an attorney in Florida, if you're an attorney in good standing with a Florida bar, you're actually exempt from taking the pre-licensing course where you don't have to take it. But at the same time, we have tons of attorneys that either get our study tools or actually even take the course, even though they're not required to do so, because they know they need to learn the information to be able to pass the exam. So make sure that you learn this information. In your pre-licensing course, that's what it's designed to do, to get you to learn the information, to know what you need to know. And in our pre-licensing course, we emphasize the most important key points that you really need to know. But at the same time, there's a lot of other information that's required to be in the course, but isn't necessarily as important for your exam. So you're required by the Florida law, if you're not an attorney or have a 4-year degree in real estate, you're required by the law to take a pre-licensing course so that you learn this information. And even though information might not be tested on the exam, if it's part of the FREC syllabus, it has to be taught in the course for that course to count as credit to be able to take your state exam. So what that means, again, is that there's information that might not be on your exam at all, but then at the same time, information that could still be on your exam, but it's very unlikely to be on your exam. And we have all kinds of percentages we give you of all the units, and it's directly off of the FREC syllabus, the Florida Real Estate Commission syllabus, from the people who actually decide what's on this exam. They give us a syllabus that has a breakdown of the percentages of each unit, and we share that with you in not only all of our study tools, but our course as well, so you know where you need to focus. A great example of this is if you look at the first unit in the course. The first unit in the course is only 1% of the exam, the Intro to the Real Estate Business, and that chapter can really be confusing because it's an introduction to a lot of information that you're going to learn about later in the course. So it covers a lot of different topics, but not in much detail whatsoever. So it leaves a lot of questions unanswered, and it touches on a lot of different things. And that could be really stressful until you see that it's only 1%. Okay, 1%, that's one question. All right, I don't have to worry about this chapter. But then you get into chapter 2, and chapter 2 is 6% of the exam. And now, that's 6 times as many questions. Now we're really getting into it. And then some chapters have as many as 12% of the exam. Mortgages, for example, there's actually 2 chapters dealing with mortgages and financing, and that makes up 13% of the exam. And yet you have a couple of chapters that are only 1% of the exam. So take out of account the question of will this be on the exam, because anything in that course technically can be on your exam. Now, not everything in that course will be on your exam because you're only going to have 100 questions. And we could ask thousands upon thousands upon thousands of questions based on all the information in that course. And with the state exam, there is a bank of thousands of questions that they pull from to give you your 100 questions that you take on the exam. So it's not just about learning the information, but reinforcing. And not reinforcing everything, reinforcing the key points. You're going to learn a lot of information in your pre-licensing course, but you don't need to know all that information to be able to pass your exam. But there are certain key points. Main topics, very important topics. And I mean, the broadest way to look at this is just looking at what percentage is what chapter. And a chapter that's 12% is obviously going to be much more important than a chapter that's only 1% of your exam. So there's going to be a lot more substance in that 12% chapter compared to the 1% chapter. And this, you can see that there's varying lengths of these units. So it's not even necessarily how much content is in the unit. And so that's where, we provide you, there's key terms, there's all kinds of figures and examples and diagrams and details that explain things further, and we give you certain areas that we want you to focus on. to make sure that, again, you don't study everything, because if you try to learn everything in this course, you're not going to know anything very well. It's not about knowing everything in the course, it's about knowing certain things very well. So anything it is that we do to emphasize certain topics to you, that's usually more along the lines of the information that's going to be important for your exam. And again, I don't really want to make today's episode about the study tools, because we've got demos and everything like that you can check out at passfirsttry.com. But I will mention which study tool works best for each of these steps. And the best one for our, to reinforce key points is the MP3 audio review. And you go to mp3audioreview.com to go check out the demo of that. But why this is great for helping you reinforce the key points. So the entire pre-licensing course, it's a 63-hour course. The MP3 audio review is just under 5 hours long. So how do we cover 63 hours worth of material in 5 hours? We don't. We cover the most important key points. So this isn't going to be the most detailed. It doesn't include everything in the course. This isn't an audiobook of the textbook, but it's what you need to focus on. What you need to not only focus on, but what you need to remember. Because this isn't an exam of if you've learned the information, it's an exam of do you know the information. And not even that, it's an exam of do you know the information and can you apply it in the context of this question. And that's where I bring us to our third step here, to test your knowledge. And there's really two different ways you could go about testing your knowledge to see if you know what you need to know, because that's what Test Your Knowledge is all about. The Florida Real Estate Commission, they're going to test your knowledge to see if you know what they want you to know. And if you score at least a 75% out of that 100-question multiple choice exam, they deem you to know what they wanted you to know. But if you scored less than that 75%, sorry, you did not pass. Try again later. So rather than going through that experience of having it all riding on whether you pass this exam and hopefully you studied enough, does that sound like you're confident and prepared? Because look, if you don't make it to stage 4, if you don't make it to the point of feeling confident and prepared, then you are going to end up second guessing yourself. You're going to make yourself more nervous than you're going to need to be. You're going to end up getting anxious about this exam, and your judgment is going to be clouded because of that. So you need to get yourself to the stage. Like I said, this is all about stages. And this isn't something that if, you check these boxes and you'll pass your exam. No, look, this is your scale of readiness. And you ultimately aren't the decider of if you've made it to this point of being confident and prepared. The state exam is the ultimate decider if you've made it to this step of being confident and prepared. Because not only did you learn the information, but you know the key points, and you could also apply them in the context of a test question, in a scenario that they give you. So the way they set up this exam, this isn't an exam where they say, hey, what is the definition of caveat emptor? This is a exam that says something along the lines of, hey, there's a for sale by owner available in the neighborhood, and a buyer drives by and interested and sees it. If they call you up and they want to go in there and check it out themselves, what term applies to this situation? And that would be where we mentioned maybe caveat emptor. That would be your answer, because you know the definition, you know that simple key point that caveat emptor means buyer beware, that the buyer should beware. And this is a situation, this buyer going to a for sale by owner, where the buyer should beware of the for sale by owner not having their best interest in mind. So that key point you need to remember here is caveat emptor means buyer beware, that the buyer needs to beware of the seller. That's the key point to remember. Now the test questions, now that's just one example. Maybe you see something similar to an example I just gave you like that on the exam, or maybe you see something that tests on that same exact concept of caveat emptor means buyer beware, but it's a completely different scenario. So the big mistake a lot of people make with testing your knowledge, the biggest mistake I would say is just going straight to the exam and letting the exam test your knowledge, which you probably have a lot higher likelihood that you won't pass there because you never really checked. Because usually what happens, and this happened to me when I was getting my real estate license, back when I originally got my sales associate license. So when I first got my real estate license, I was the person that never studied, never wanted to do homework. I would just go in and ace exams, and that's how I made it through high school, that's how I made it through college. come in to take this real estate course to go get my real estate license. And I go through the course, go through the material, don't really do any studying because I don't need to do that. I'm better than that. I'm a good test taker. I'm smart, and all the things I would tell myself and all the things that apparently worked on high school and college level exams. But everybody kept talking about how difficult this exam was. So what I did is I tested my knowledge. And as I could pass that exam, no problem. Look, I'll prove it to you. And so I took a practice exam, and I got about 30 questions into it when I realized, maybe I'm not going to prove it to you. Maybe I don't know this information because I don't even know what I'm looking at here. I didn't even understand all the words that are on the page. And I didn't even finish that practice exam. Like I said, I got about 30 questions into it, and I was like, all right, I need to go back and hit the books. I need to actually study this because there's no way I'm going to pass. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. And I think I went back and I checked a couple of those ones that I did answer out of that, and I'm like, oh, okay, I was getting all these wrong anyways. And even though if I did get it right, I had no idea why I got it right. So, and that's the other thing. You're not confident and prepared if you get a question right, but you don't know why you got it right. If you just guess, that doesn't mean that you've studied. That doesn't mean that you've learned the information. That means that you got lucky. And if you get lucky here, it's hard to keep that luck going. It's hard to keep that luck train going all the way to your state exam, so don't rely on luck. Luck is good for maybe a couple, 1 or 2 extra points if you're lucky, if it's your lucky day. But for all the other points you need to get, the other 73 points you need to pass this exam, you're going to have to study. And if you study it to shoot for getting a 98 or a 99, well, then you got plenty of margin for error if it's not your lucky day, if you get a really bad mix of questions. You don't want to study just for a 75%. You want to study for 100%, for 90%, for 95%. At least shoot for an A. Come on, guys. I know all you need is a 75 to pass, but if you shoot for a 75, this is a tough exam. Now, it's not an exam of how smart you are. It's not an exam of your intelligence level. It's an exam of, do you know the information and can you apply it in the test questions? So our study tool I would recommend to test your knowledge is our question simulator. We've got a demo of it you can check out at questionsimulator.com. But this is really designed. We designed the question simulator to be this stage, to be everything in the best possible way to accomplish this mission of testing your knowledge before you get to the exam, to find out what you need to go back and study. Now, I don't recommend that you go straight into doing this question simulator, because what will happen then is you just get a bunch of questions wrong and you keep finding out all these things it is that you've got to study, and then you go back to study them, and if you go to try to do the same questions again, now granted, there's a bank of over 700 questions in this question simulator, so we've got a lot of questions in there, but you want to use those all when you're already feeling good and ready. So that's why we recommend starting out with reinforcing these key points before you go back now to do a diagnostic to see what key points you really didn't reinforce. So use practice questions. Don't study practice questions. If you study practice questions, there's 3 times as many wrong answers for every right answer. So do practice questions, but don't pay too close attention. Do not try to commit that question to memory. We've only got so much capacity up here that our brain could keep in at any one time, that we could recall at any one point in time. So we've got to be selective with what key points it is we're reinforcing. If you just try to learn all the information and reinforce all the information, you're going to overwhelm yourself, you're going to overload yourself, and it's going to be more difficult to hone in on those key points that you do need to remember. So again, this isn't an exam of how smart you are. It isn't even an exam of do you know all the information. It's an exam of do you know at least 75% of the information out of these 100 scenarios that we've given you here. Can you select the correct answer to these 100 scenarios, to 75 of these 100 scenarios? And now if you have studied, if you have reinforced the key points, if you have tested your knowledge and you're doing well, you're able to apply those key points in the question and you understand why you're getting those correct, you're going to already start feeling pretty confident and prepared. But if you need a little extra boost, that's where I'd recommend our weekend prep class. And you can find out more details about this at weekendprepclass.com. That's weekendprepclass.com. We've actually got an on-demand recording available of this because of the whole pandemic and everything going on right now. We've gone to having this available completely on demand through recording 24/7, and you get 6 months of access when you get this recording, so you could go through it as many times as you need to, which that alone is a huge benefit over actually taking that in person. And the other thing is, rather than cramming this into 2 days, you could spread this out as much as you need to. You could take that weekend and chop it up, repeat it, rewind, go back, rewatch again for whatever unit it is that you need to focus on. So that's a really powerful set of videos. It's a set of videos that are about 14 hours long total, and it's all broken up by unit, so you jump to any one particular unit. It comes with a little workbook that you follow along and you write in. It's very interactive, even though it's just a recording of it. So that's a really good final step. Now, I wouldn't recommend this being the only thing it is that you do. If you only do one thing, I would say make it one of these two things, probably the MP3 audio review, because that's going to help you get these key points down. Because all of these steps build upon each other. You're not going to be confident and prepared if you haven't already verified by testing your knowledge. And you're not going to be able to score highly testing your knowledge if you don't know the key points. And you're not going to know the key points if you never learned the information in the first place. So this is a series of stages, almost like a pyramid, that you can't have being confident and prepared without all of these preceding stages and steps before it. And look, as you progress through this, and you got to be honest with yourself of where you're at, for each unit even. You know, unit 1, maybe you're feeling good on it. It's already a low percentage, so you're already pretty confident on it, and you reinforce those key points. Like unit 1, it's not very long at all in the MP3 audio review, especially compared to some of those bigger, higher percentage units. The question simulator, one of my favorite things about it is it's got explanations that pop up right away. So every time you answer a question, not only will it tell you whether you're correct or incorrect, but right away, immediately, you're going to get a detailed explanation that gives you feedback. So that's also pretty powerful. I would do, again, either one of these two first, but probably that MP3 audio review, or we've got a really great bundle price at passfirsttry.com. So if you check out passfirsttry.com, you get all the tools together, including also one other course that I mentioned already once called Secrets of the Exam. And Secrets of the Exam, it's really meant for those of you that do have test anxiety, who are worried about whether or not you're going to be able to pass this exam. You're maybe worried about, oh, it's been so long that I've taken an exam or been to school or taken a class, or maybe it hasn't. Maybe you just got finished with school just last week and you're just nervous about the real estate exam because it's a really tough exam. So what I would recommend is get that whole pass first try strategy, because each of the tools really complement each other really well. And then you also get that Secrets of the Exam course, which it's really all the tips and tricks bundled together. It's about 2 hours worth of video content, so it's not that long, and it's not any of the content you need to know that they're going to be tested on, so you're not going to be tested on any of that information in Secrets of the Exam, but it'll really help you understand the examination process, how they build this exam, and how they structure the questions, so you really understand what they're doing and how you need to apply this information. And that'll help this pass first try strategy make a lot more sense in how it is that you use it. So if you guys already have the pass first try strategy, that's what I would start off with. I'd throw the Secrets of the Exam right here at the beginning, so you could go through that and you'll better understand what you're doing with all this information. So that's the Secrets of the Exam, and that's our Pass First Try strategy. We've got demos, again, all at passfirsttry.com. You can check that all out. If you've got questions on anything, give us a call. Our phone number is 813-333-2676. That's 813-333-2676. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have, assist you in any way it is that they can, and get you to pass that exam. And whether you haven't taken the exam yet or you've taken the exam numerous times, either way, we can help you get to passing. And we've got all these tools available individually as well. So yes, the best deal is going to be through the bundle, but you could also buy any one of these individually. So if you need any help with that, we've got it all online on our main website, tampaschool.com, but you could also call us up at 813-333-2676. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We'll be back on Friday for State of Real Estate. That's our weekly mastermind to help you grow and develop your real estate business. And what we're going to be talking about is launching and jumpstarting your real estate career. So for those of you guys that are getting ready to pass your exam, make sure you're here on Friday as well, because that'll help you better prepare yourself for once you have passed that exam and you've got a license to now, okay, what is it that I do with it? How do I actually use this to make some money? And what are all the moving parts that I want to have in place to be ready to go? So make sure you tune in on Friday. But other than that, that's all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you on Friday for State of Real Estate. Hey, so if you're thinking about starting a real estate career, it could feel a little overwhelming sometimes. Look, that's completely understandable. That's why we're here to help. If you haven't already, check out our Success Center, tampaschool.com/success, or if you don't even know where to begin, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that we can. Our phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Give us a call. We're the Tampa School of Real Estate.
Do you want a career that allows you to be in control? With a career in real estate, you'll get to call the shots. Whether you're looking at starting part-time or want to become the next top agent, a career in real estate makes it possible. Find out what it takes at tampaschool.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Chrisma with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can. Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.